McKelvie.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. To ask the First Minister what the Scottish Government's response is to the recent Scottish Social Attitudes Survey, which shows that levels of prejudice in Scotland are falling.
Minister.
Well, I welcome the findings from the survey. It's encouraging to see that Scotland is becoming a more inclusive society with more people embracing and valuing diversity. However, we shouldn't be complacent. It's completely unacceptable that some groups in society do still face prejudice. So we need to continue to work together to eradicate discriminatory attitudes in Scotland, and I can assure the member that this government is absolutely committed to doing so.
Christina McKelvie.
Can I thank the First Minister for that answer and that commitment? This week's Tory party conference saw the most disgraceful display of reactionary right-wing politics in living memory, with the Tories hinting that they will target foreign workers and name and shame businesses for not hiring British employees. We perhaps saw an early glimpse of that from the Scottish Tories in recent weeks when they questioned Christian Allard's right to take part in public life. How will the First Minister work to ensure we build a tolerant, inclusive Scotland where people are judged on the contribution they make to our society and not by the place they were born?
First Minister.
Well, we do that. We do that by standing strong and, I hope, united in defence of that inclusive, tolerant society. We should value people by the contribution they make here, not by where they were born or indeed the colour of their passport. I think that work is undermined by some of the rhetoric we've heard from the Tory conference this week. You know, Theresa May's speech yesterday was endorsed by Marine Le Pen, the leader of the French far right. Nigel Farage said yesterday that virtually everything that Theresa May said in her speech were things that he had said over the last few years. I do think all of us have an obligation to stand up against intolerance, against prejudice, against discrimination and against xenophobia in all of its forms. And I hope everybody in this Parliament will do so.
Ross Greer.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. The First Minister has already called out the hateful, disgusting rhetoric that came out of the Tory party conference this week. Perhaps the most sinister